Track for this evening's first race. Condition pace of 1 mile, a purse of $2,200. Down to a field of 9 with a scratch of the 2, Traditional Frank Sick, exacted trifecta, first half of the early daily double. Number 1 is Dr. Jones, owned by the ATS Stables Incorporated of Lexington, Kentucky, trained by Ronald Waller with Jeff Fount. Number 2, Traditional Frank, is out sick. Number 3 is Keno Joe, owned and trained by Harry Altop of Urbana, Ohio with Jim Shelton. Number 4 is Roll On Sam, owned by Michael Wetter of Middletown, Ohio, trained by Jack Daly, Jeff Daly at the lines. Number 5 is Carolina Bob, owned by Dick James of Lebanon, Ohio, trained by Tommy Smith. Bob Harper is up. The 6 is Rover Rellum, owned by Edwin Ellis of Cedarville, Ohio, trained by Lamar Moody. Brett Miller at the lines. Number 7 is Magical Nuke, owned and trained by Robert Rhodes of Obetz, Ohio. Jeff Collins is up. The 8 is House of Sam, owned by Patricia Soulsby of Powell, Ohio, trained and driven by Rick Shout. From the outside of the 9 is Jimmy Let's Go, owned by Terry Whitaker and Robert Whitaker Jr. of Middletown, Ohio, trained by Robert Whitaker Jr. Robert Whitaker Jr. is up. In scoring from off the second tier is number 10, Let's Rock, owned and trained by John Perrin of Lebanon, Ohio. Jeff Ace Nicehunger. They're off and pacing and firing away from the inside. There goes Dr. Jones. Driving up from the outside, there is Magical Nuke, along with Jimmy Let's Go, who's on the go. From off the second tier, Let's Rock comes away in 4th. 5th, that is Keno Joe. 6th there and dropping in, that is House of Sam. 7th on the inside is Roll On Sam. 8th, that is Carolina Bob. And 9th and trailing the field is Rover Rellum. And Brett Miller can see them all as they step around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. And Dr. Jones and Jeff Fount on the front interior through an opening panel at 28 4/5. Let's Rock into the inside is racing in 2. Caught to the outside, a long mile racing in 3rd. That is Jimmy Let's Go. Along the inside in 4th is Keno Joe. To the outside of a long mile there in 5 is Magical Nuke. 6th is House of Sam. 7 to the outside is Carolina Bob. 8th along the rail is Roll On Sam. And 9th in trailing the field, but a swung to the outside. That is Rover Rellum as they step around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half. And from the inside, Dr. Jones leads them to the half in 59 1/5. A second panel at 30 1. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4. Dr. Jones leads the way here by 3 parts of a length. Grinding it out first over the outside in 2, that is Jimmy Let's Go. Let's Rock to the inside is watching over the dueling leaders from 3rd and swung up 3 wide to the outside. Here comes Carolina Bob, improving to the 4th. Down along the inside in 5 is Keno Joe. Has clearance there as they wheel by 3/4 and 127 4/5. Off stride went the 5, Carolina Bob, as they pace the final turn and head to the top of the stretch. Dr. Jones is going to be set down with a stretch drive on top by 2. Less than an 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Dr. Jones to the inside. Here comes Let's Rock, coming to him and coming on, and House of Sam is charging hard on the outside. And House of Sam gets up to win it. House of Sam by 2.5. Finishing second was the 3, Keno Joe. 3rd was the 10, Let's Rock. The top of the mile, 156 4. House of Sam in a new lifetime mark. Here is the 8, House of Sam, the unofficial winner of the first race, first half of the early daily double. The 8, House of Sam, is a 3-year-old black gelding by Noble and Sam out of a Nan Patrick. She by Signed and Sealed, owned by Patricia Soulsby of Powell, Ohio. Nicely trained and driven by Rick Shout. Posting the 4th win in 2003, home in a new lifetime mark, 156 4. The 8, House of Sam and Rick Shout. It's official. 8-3-10-1 is official. 8-3 exacta, 535.60. 8-3-10 try, $2,540.80. Traditional Frank was scratch 6. Number 3, Keno Joe 2. Number 4, Roll On Sam 5. Number 5, Carolina Bob 9. Number 1 is Passum Sam with the Tabar Stables Incorporated of Chillicothe, Ohio, trained by Bill Taylor with Jeff Ace Nicehunger. Number 2 is Oz Shade, owned by Brighton Ball and Diamond Chip Stable and Scott Mogan. They're all the Buckeye State, trained by Scott Mogan with the Hitman, Brett Miller. Number 3 is Stinky Flynn, owned by James Cargo of Morrow, Ohio, trained by Jack Daly. Jeff Daly is up. The 4 is Albion What Punchual, owned by Jay Sears at Deerfield Beach, Florida, and George Brody of Hudson, Florida, trained and driven by Jay Sears. Number 5 is Western Intent by the National Trail Investment Company Incorporation of Bean Station, Tennessee, trained by Dan Ader, Kyle Ader at the lines. The 6 is Town Bullet. Scott Piney's Budweiser Best Bet of the Night is owned by Redmond of Mount Gilead, Ohio, and Mullinex of Wassian, Ohio, trained by Jim Mullinex. Jim Daly is up. And to the outside of the 7 is Call Me Jate, with the Oldfield Farm Incorporated of Sand Creek, Michigan, trained by Richard Oldfield. Bob Harper in the sulky in motion. They're off and pacing and firing away, middle of the track. There goes the 3, Stinky Flynn. From the inside, there is Passum Sam. Driving up from the outside, there is Call Me Jate. They're 3 deep into the first turn. Coming away in 4th is Oz Shade. 5th, there is Albion What Punchual. Dropping in 6th is Town Bullet. And 7th, and trailing the field, that is Western Intent. They're still stacked up 3 deep going to the opening quarter. And from the inside, with the lead here, that is Passum Sam. Opening panel in 26 3/5 as they pass the stand for the first time and head on down to the half. And Call Me Jate and Bob Harper finally clears to the front interior, leading it by a length and a half. Rolling under the wire with 5/8 of a mile remaining. Passum Sam is racing in second. Stinky Flynn dropped in third. First to flush, coming with a rush on the outside in fourth. Here comes Oz Shade. The inside 5 is Albion What Punchual. On to the cover flow. Second over on the outside in 6th is Town Bullet. And 7th and trailing the field, but a tip to the outside, Western Intent. They're off the half in 56 seconds flat. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 and on top. Call Me Jate leads it here by a length. Grinding it out first over the outside, racing in 2. That is Oz Shade. Along the inside, Passum Sam is racing in 3rd and ready to swing up 3 wide of the outside and does so now. Here comes Town Bullet, and Town Bullet is circling up 3 wide of the outside by 3/4 and 1:24 3/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. And Call Me Jate has won a huge mile here and is opening up by 2. Town Bullet is trying to come to him in second. Western Intent off the turn to the top of Heartbreak Lane. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come, and Call Me Jate is rocking away here. Call Me Jate. Albion What Punchual is pacing on late, but it's Call Me Jate wrapped up here. Finishing second, Albion What Punchual. Third was the 6, Town Bullet. The time of the mile, 1:53 3/5. Call Me Jate.
A 3-year-old brown gelding by Jate Lobel out of a Weeby Fast Mare. She by Bruce Gimble. By the Oldfield Farm Incorporated of Sand Creek, Michigan, trained by Richard Oldfield. Nicely handled here this evening by catch driver Bob Harper. Time of the mile, 1:53 3/5. Again, a new lifetime mark. Third win in 2003. The 7, Call Me Jate and Bob Harper. Early double, 8-7, 149.80. 7-4 exact and 96.40. 7-4-6 try. Returned $192.20. Now, Mr. Harper, don't get too far away.
Field of 9, the 1 is Fort Herod, owned by the Fountain Valley Farm of Danville, Kentucky, trained by Kevin Thomas, Jeff Neisanger. The 2 is Mystical Cam, owned by Reed Racing of Newark, Ohio, trained and driven by Dean Collins. Number 3 is Come On VC Song by Jerry Sommers of Pickerington, Ohio, trained by Mike Metters, Jamie Dunlap. Number 4 is Rigatores, owned by Melby Phillip Ober Jr. of Cable, Ohio, trained by Jay Dugloff with Jeff Fount. Number 5 is Grandpa Ike, owned by Charter Bryant of Cleveland, Ohio, trained and driven by Tom Hall. Number 6 is Fun Time Go Getter by the FTF Incorporated of Johnstown, Ohio, trained by Ron Potter, Dan Noble. The 7 is The Terrific Chow, owned and trained by John Perrin of Lebanon, Ohio. Sandy Beatty is up. The 8 is Sand Flying Dragon, owned by Michael Wetter of Middletown, Ohio, trained by Jack Daly. Jeff Daly is up. And for the outside of the 9 is Nick Austin by the Bed Stable of Sunbury, Ohio, trained by Daryl Hoosier with the K-Man, Kane Kaufman.
The 9, Nick Austin, is lagging off the gate. They're all fan pacing in a very nice start here. Flashing some early speed from the inside. There is Mystical Cam, who is driving out for the lead. From the inside, Fort Herod is on the go and protecting the rail here. Looking to drop in third, that is Rigatores. Caught to the outside in fourth and pressing on. There is Grandpa Ike. Away in 5, that is Come On VC Song. 6th on the inside, Fun Time Go Getter. 7th, that is The Terrific Chow. 8th along the inside, there is a step by the opening quarter is Sand Flying Dragon, and 9th and trailing the field is Nick Austin. They went the opening quarter in a barn burner, 26 3/5, and Fort Herod and Ace Neisanger lead it here by length. Grinding it out, Grandpa Ike looks like he'll take the long mile the outside too. Mystical Cam is now swung to the outside, racing in third, and ducks right back in here as they step around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half, leaving second over the outside, racing in fourth. Come On VC Song, buried at the rail in 5 is Rigatores. They're halfway home, 55 2/5 off the turn and driving down the backside, and Fort Herod is setting some wicked fractions here, but now up on the outside to grab the latest Grandpa Ike. Come On VC Song is coming to him on the outside, racing in 2 and swung up 3 wide of the outside. Here comes Fun Time Go Getter up on the outside as well. That is Mystical Cam, who is shook loose. 3/4 on the board and 124 flat. They'll pace the final turn and head for home, and Come On VC Song on top here, opens up by 3 to the inside. Grandpa Ike could not go with him in second. Mystical Cam is off the rail from third, off the turn to the top of Power Alley. Less than an 1/8 of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come. Come On VC Song to the outside. Mystical Cam is trying to come to him, but as they roll within the final 16th, Come On VC Song holding sway. Finishing second was the 2, Mystical Cam. Looked like the 7, The Terrific Chow, got up for third. The time of the mile, 1:52 4/5. Come On VC Song in a new lifetime mark. The third race, sponsored by Sherry's Bachelorette Party 2003. Here's the 3, Come On VC Song. Very impressively here now, your official winner, timed at a new lifetime mark, 1:52 4/5, posting the first win in 2003. Number 3, Come On VC Song, a 4-year-old bay horse by Village Connection out of a nylon melody, she by Nihilator. Owned by Jerry Sommers of Pickerington, Ohio, trained by Mike Metters, nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Jamie Dunlap. New lifetime mark, 1:52 4. The 3, Come On VC Song. 3-2 exact returns, $14 even. 3-2-7 try, return $297.60.
This evening's 4th race, open handicap pace of 1 mile, a purse of $9,000. Win place, exacta, pick 3 wagering only. No trifecta, no show wagering here. Scratch the 2, Powerhouse Sabra Sick. Scratch the 5, My Pal Mark Sick. Presenting the field, the 1 is Eddie Rocket, owned by Sam Noble Jr. of Cedarville, Ohio. Trained by Sam Noble Jr. Dan Noble is up. The 2, Powerhouse Sabra is out sick. The 3 is World Harvest, owned by the Jeff Miller Stable of Haviland, Ohio, and Dorothy Miller of Delphus, Ohio. Trained by Jeff Miller. Dallas Miller is up. The 4 is Brad's Gold, owned by the Darby's Edge Stable of Ohio, Joe Descala Jr., and Syed Mullinex of New York, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., Brett Miller at the lines. Number 5, My Pal Mark is out sick, and from the outside of the 6, Capital Request, home of the Capital Acquired Stable of Frankfort, Ohio. My Budweiser Best Bet of the Night is trained by Dan Ader, Kyle Ader, in the sulky.
Being sent on their way. They're off and pacing and firing out middle of the track. There goes World Harvest. From the outside, there is Capital Request, who's driving out for the lead. Eddie Rocket comes away, racing in third. Dropping in, racing in fourth. That is Brad's Gold as they wheel by the opening eighth and over to the opening quarter they roll. And on top of the field, Capital Request is trying to clear to the front end tier. Along the inside, World Harvest still yield for a garden spot, racing in two. Eddie Rocket is racing in third. Brad's Gold racing in fourth. The opening panel in 26 and 3/5 as they pass the stands for the first time and head on down to the half. And Capital Request leads the way here along the inside. Racing two is World Harvest, but up on the outside, here's Eddie Rocket to pressure the pace here as they step around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half. Eddie Rocket is trying to clear to the front. Capital Request on the inside won't quite let him go, but does so now. Eddie Rocket onto the front end tier. They reach the half. They're halfway home in 56 seconds flat. Off the turn and driving down the backside of the open handicap. And Eddie Rocket with the lead here by 2. Along the inside, Capital Request is trying to go with him in second. Along the inside, racing in third, that is World Harvest. Fourth on the inside there, that is Brad's Gold. As they track down the backside, on top, Eddie Rocket with the lead here for Dan Noble. Along the inside, Capital Request is still right there in second, reaching 3/4 in 124 flat. Along the inside, and now a move to the outside in third is World Harvest. And that brings, as they turn to the top of the stretch, Capital Request out of the 2-hole to the top of Power Alley. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Eddie Rocket to the inside, but he's under siege, and Capital Request blows right on by. Capital Request inside the final 16th is getting up and drawing clear. Capital Request,
the unofficial winner of the 4th race, open handicap, the 6, Capital Request. Budweiser Best Bet of the Night. Now the official winner of the 6, Capital Request, is a 5-year-old bay horse by Life Sign out of an emotional mare. She by No Nukes. Home of the Capital Acquired Stable of Frankfort, Ohio. Trained by Dan Ader. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Kyle Ader. Well, the 6, Capital Request, pacing home at 152, 1/5 for the second win in 2003. Capital Request and Kyle Ader, home a winner, 152, 1/5. 6-4 exacta, $6 even. Exacta trifecta wagering, a field of 8. Number 1 is Glenview Freds, owned by Eddie Pulling and Daniel Stone of Lebanon, Ohio, trained by Eddie Pulling with Dave Hawk. Number 2 is Luby Bluegrass, owned by Sidney Watkins and Robert Gordon of Dalhart, Texas, trained by David Yoder. Dan Noble is up. The 3 is Bearcat Hanover, owned by Reed Racing of Newark, Ohio, trained and driven by Dean Collins. Number 4 is Really Shady, by Rick Starr of Hilliard, Ohio, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr. Brett Miller is at the lines. Number 5 is Pinnacle. The lessee is Dorothy Christie of Grove City, Ohio, trained by Todd Christie Kylater. The 6 is Meadowland Shuffle by Eldon Combs of Oregon, Ohio, who also does the training. Bob Harper is up. The 7 is Samarama by Marianne Georges of Wilmington, Ohio, trained by Larry Tench, Jeff Ace Nightsinger. And for the outside of the 8 is Mr. McGregor by Winchester Bay Anchors Incorporated of Powell, Ohio, trained by Daryl Hoosier. They're all fan pacing and firing away from the inside. Glenview Freds pushes the starting gate away. Middle of the track, Bearcat Hanover looks to drop in, racing in 2. Dropping in third, that is Really Shady. Driving up from the outside in 4th, that is Mr. McGregor. Away driving in 5 is Luby Bluegrass. 6th is Pinnacle. 7th there, that is Meadowland Shuffle. And 8th and trailing the field, that is Samarama. Nightsinger can see them all as they step around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. And Glenview Freds with the lead here. Bearcat Hanover is in the garden spot and come to the outside, racing in 2, off an initial quarter of 26 and 4. On top of the front end, Glenview Freds has now seated Bearcat Hanover right back in the garden spot, nose to helmet, racing in 2. Really Shady races in 3rd, and first over the outside, racing in 4th. Here comes Mr. McGregor, towing along Luby Bluegrass. 2nd over the outside in 5, 3rd over racing in 6th is Pinnacle. 7th there along the inside is Meadowland Shuffle, and 8th and trailing the field, Samarama. Around the clubhouse turn to the half, they're halfway home in 56
6 3/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside, and Glenview Fritz with the lead here, leading it by a length and 3/4. Bearcat Hanover is right there in the garden spot, racing in 2. First over on the outside, not gaining any ground in 3rd is Mr. McGregor. Now swung up 3 wide on the outside. Here comes Luby Bluegrass, and Luby Bluegrass was 4th, now 3rd, now 2nd, advancing up on the outside of the leader here as they go towards 3/4. 3/4 and 125 flat. They'll pace the final turn and head for home, and Luby Bluegrass has now struck the front end. Glenview Fritz could not go with him. Out of the hole there, that is Bearcat Hanover, and Pinnacle is coming to him to the top of Power Alley. Less than an eighth of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come. Luby Bluegrass with the lead here to the outside. Bearcat Hanover and Pinnacle, but as they drive within the final 16th, this is an absolute rocking chair drive for Dan Noble. Luby Bluegrass in front. Finishing second was the 3, Bearcat Hanover. Third was the 5, Pinnacle. The top of the mile, 1:53.
Gregory Luther of Gahanna, Ohio, and Tony Shumick of Dublin, Ohio, trained by John Robinson, Kyle Leader. Number 2 is Montana Stan, owned by Amanda Pietkas of Hilliard, Ohio, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., Brett Miller. Number 3 is Noble Strike, owned by Harry Alltop of Urbana, Ohio, and Kim Dingledine of Mechanicsburg, Ohio, trained and driven by Jim Daly. Number 4 is Staley Lane, owned by Marvin Godown of Greenville, Ohio, trained and driven by Kane Kaufman. Number 5 is 3 Lumps, owned by Robert Whitaker Jr. and Terry Whitaker of Middletown, Ohio, trained and driven by Robert Whitaker Jr. Number 6 is Chris Crombie, owned by Paul Edwin Swaney of Xenia, Ohio, trained by Tom Myers, Jim Shelton. The 7 is Hit the Beach, owned by Joseph Shemaiah of Lexington, Kentucky, trained by Lamar Moody with Jeff Neishunger. Number 8 is Big Pan on Campus, owned by Scott Taylor George of Sunbury, Ohio, trained by John Schultz with Dave Hawk. And from the outside of the 9 is Star Prospect, owned and trained by David Loff of Mechanicsburg, Ohio, Dan Noble. In the sulky.
There they go. They're all fan pacing and stepping out of there from the outside. Star Prospect is headed for command. Furthermore, to the inside of the net, Big Pan on Campus, who's on the go there. Coming away, racing in 3rd is Chris Crombie. Away in 4th is Staley Lane. Coming away in 5, that is Hit the Beach. 6th on the inside is Grant Kiss Charm. Coming away in 7th, that is Montana Stan. 8th, that is Noble Strike. And 9th, and trailing the field, 3 Lumps. And Whitaker Jr. can see them all as they step over to the opening quarter in 26 4/5. And Star Prospect on the front end here, right where he wants it, leading it by a length and a quarter. To the inside, Big Pan on Campus is stalking him from 2. Along the inside, Chris Crombie is going along in 3rd. Staley Lane racing in 4th. Hit the Beach in 5. 6th is Grant Kiss Charm. 7th is Montana Stan. 8th is Noble Strike. And 9th, and trailing the field, 3 Lumps. Nobody yet to make a move on the leader as they pace around the clubhouse turn. They're at the half. They're halfway home. 55 2/5 off the turn and driving down the backside. Usual fractions for Star Prospect, leading the way here by a length and a quarter. Now being angled out of the 2-hole. Here comes Big Pan on Campus, and Big Pan on Campus is looking the leader in the eye. To the inside, racing in 3rd, Chris Crombie. 4th is Staley Lane. 5th to the outside is Hit the Beach. 6th is Grant Kiss Charm. 7th, that is Noble Strike as they wheel by 3/4 and 124 3/5. It's anybody's ball game here. Battling back on the inside. Star Prospect to the outside. Big Pan on Campus. Ready to swing up 3 wide to the outside. Here comes Staley Lane. Out 4 wide for the stretch drive. Grant Kiss Charm, and out 5 wide is Noble Strike. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Horses coming from everywhere. Hit the Beach is exploding in the super stretch here. Hit the Beach, and Ace Neishunger gets up to win it. Noble Strike to go second. Grant Kiss Charm was 3rd. The top of the mile, 156 2/5. Hit the Beach, equaling a lifetime mark. He's claiming handicap pacer exploding through virtue of the super stretch. Timed in 156 2. Now your official winner, the 7, Hit the Beach, hits the winner's circle here. A 5-year-old bay outing by Towner's Big Guy out of a jailbait mare. She by Good to See You. Owned by Joseph Shemaiah of Lexington, Kentucky. Trained by Lamar Moody. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Jeff Ace Neishunger. Hit the Beach, equaling his lifetime best, 156 2. Pick 3, 3 of 3, 243.60. 7-3 exacta, $226.40. 7-3-1 try, $1,825 even.
Number 1 is Silver Rush, owned by Scott Glenn out of Frankfurt, Ohio, trained by Dan Ader, Kyle Ader at the lines. The 2 is Meadowland Tough Ted, owned by Tamara Hoovler of Pataskala, Ohio, and Mike Metters of Reynoldsburg, Ohio, trained by Mike Metters, Jimmy Dunlap. Number 3 is Noble Senator, by Marianne Kaufman of New Albany, Ohio, trained by Danny Collins, Danny Noble. The 4 is Crown Time Big Ben, owned by Esther Crownover, MacArthur, Ohio, trained by Earl Owings with Jim Daly. The 5 is Tazewell, owned by Craig Colston of Springboro, Ohio, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., Brett Miller. The 6, Caviar Jackson, owned by Judith Chafee and Clarence Chafee Jr. of Vienna, Virginia, trained by Jim Artledge Jr., Dave Hawk. The 7 is Galvano Scooter, by the Walls Brothers Stable of Richwood, Ohio, trained by James Ferguson, Jeff Fount. The 8 is Epps, owned by the Richard Shively Estate of Hamilton, Ohio, trained by Jim Artledge, Bob Harper at the lines. And from the outside of the 9 is Lifestream Mindale, owned by Reed Racing of Newark, Ohio, trained and driven by Dean Collins. In the Sulky in motion.
They're all fan pacing, and there goes the gray. 5T as well is headed out for command. Right alongside is Galvano Scooter. Dropping in, racing in third. That is Silver Rush from off the rail. Coming away in fourth is Meadowland Tough Ted. Away in 5, that is Noble Senator. As they race around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. Away in 6th is Crown Time Big Ben. As they race towards the opening quarter. 7th is Caviar Jackson. 8th along the rail, that is Epps. And 9th and trailing the field, Lifestream Mindale, and Dean Collins can see them all. The opening quarter came and went in 27 and 1/5, and they'll pass the stand for the first time and head on down to the half in the gray one. The Tazewell leads the way here for Brett Miller by a length and a half. Along the inside, Galvano Scooter is going along in 2. Silver Rush is racing in 3rd. First on the outside in 4th, that is Noble Senator. Buried at the rail in 5 is Meadowland Tough Ted. As they step around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half. Tazewell is the one to catch here and reaching the halfway mile mark of the race. They're halfway home. 55 and 2/5 off the turn and driving down the backside. Tazewell with the lead here along the inside. Galvano Scooter is going right with him in 2. Up on the outside in 3rd, Noble Senator is charging after the leader here. Inside and buried at the rail in 4th with pace. That is Silver Rush to the outside in 5. Crown Time Big Ben as they approach the 3/4 mile mark of the race. And Tazewell takes them to 3/4, 123 and 2. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. Tazewell to the inside has shook off Noble Senator to the outside, racing in 2. Swung to the outside in 3rd is Crown Time Big Ben, and out foot 3 wide on the outside for the drive is Caviar Jackson. To the top of Heartbreak Lane, less than an eighth of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come. Tazewell with the lead. Caviar Jackson is coming to him and coming on, along with Silver Rush, but at the wire, Tazewell gate to wire. Caviar Jackson to go second. Third was the one Silver Rush. The time of the mile, 1:53 flat. Tazewell, a new lifetime mark out of the Virgil Morgan Jr. stable for driver Brett Miller. Trackside of the winner's circle, the official winner of the 7th race. Here's the gray, the 5, Tazewell. A 5-year-old gray gelding by Cam's Card Shark out of a Simoom, she by Log. Owned by Craig Colston of Springboro, Ohio. Trained by Virgil Morgan Jr. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Brett Miller. Posting the 8th win in 2003, home and a new lifetime mark, 1:53 flat, the 5, Tazewell. Scioto Downs leading driver Brett Miller.
Number 1 is Positive Scooter by Marvin Godown of Greenville, Ohio, trained and driven by the K-Man, Kane Kaufman. Number 2 is Keoki Cam by David Roop of Jonesville, Virginia, trained by Ted Roop. Bob Harper is up. The 3 is Crown Time Connect, owned by Esther Crownover, MacArthur, Ohio, trained by Earl Owings with Dan Noble. The 4 is Powerful Sam, owned by James Grandstaff of Washington Courthouse, Ohio, trained by Dan Ader, Kyle Ader at the lines. The 5 is Confirmed Winner, owned by the Zarevo Maria Stable, Yonkers, New York, trained by Jeff Miller, Dave Hawk. The 6 is Falcon X, owned by Jerry Zozo of Columbus, Ohio, and Kathy Ratcliffe of Orient, Ohio, trained and driven by Jim Daly. The 7 is Attaboy Charlie, owned by Christopher and Kerry Beaver of Delaware, Ohio, trained by Chris Beaver, Jeff Fount. The 8 is Sure Smart. Courtney Courtney Elliott's Bacardi 03 Challenger picks the 8 Sure Smart by Winchester Bakers Incorporated of Powell, Ohio, trained by Daryl Hoosier with Dean Collins. And for the outside of the 9 is Grand Trick Car. Scott Piney's pick, owned by Barnett Zimmerman Limited Liability Corporation of Deerfield, Illinois, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., Brett Miller, and the Sulky.
They're all fan pacing and firing away from the inside. Kioki Cam in between horses. Crown Time Connect is driving out along with Powerful Sam. Up on the outside, racing in 4, that is Sure Smart. In there, racing in 5 is Confirmed Winner. 6, that is Positive Scooter. 7th is Falcon X. 8th there along the rail, that is Attaboy Charlie. And 9th and trailing the field, Grand Tricar and Brett Miller can see them all as they step over to the opening quarter mile mark of the race. The opening quarter came and went in 27 1/5. And now Powerful Sam and Kyle Later has placed this one on the front end here, leading it by a length and a quarter. But now rushing up on the outside, here's Confirmed Winner, and Confirmed Winner looking very strong here. Powers to the front end. Confirmed Winner as they step around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half. Leads the way here by a length and a half. Powerful Sam will track this one to the garden spot, racing in 2. Kioki Cam is racing in 3rd. First over the outside in 4th is Crown Time Connect as they reach the half in 56 seconds flat. Off the turn and heads are pointed towards 3/4 with Confirmed Winner leading the way here. But now up on the outside to join the leader on 2, that is Crown Time Connect, and these two are on inseparable terms as they roll down the backside. Powerful Sam is trying to stick with him in 3rd. To the inside in 4th is Kioki Cam. To the outside racing in 5 is Falcon X. 6th on the inside Sure Smart as they roll by 3/4 in 1:24 flat. Backside 28 seconds. Onto the front end we go, and Confirmed Winner has shook off Crown Time Connect. Along the inside, Powerful Sam is racing in 3rd. Kioki Cam to the top of the stretch in 4th. Less than an 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come, driving through Power Alley. Confirmed Winner, very impressive here, is opening up and drawing away from this field. Confirmed Winner showing his heels to the field. Very close for second, may have been the 2, Kioki Cam over the 8 Sure Smart. Down with the mile, 1:52 3/5. Picking up the second win in 2003, number 5 Confirmed Winner, 1:52 3/5. A 5-year-old bay horse by Sun Sam out of a Kimmy B mare. She by Big Chowners, owned by the Deservevo Maria stable of Yonkers, New York, trained by Jeff Miller. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Dave Hawk. That's 2 wins on this evening's card for driver Dave Hawk, giving him a driving double. Confirmed Winner and Dave Hawk, 1:52 3/5. 5-2-8-1 is now official. 5-2 exacta 2080, 5-2-8 try returns 473.20.
Chester, Ohio, and Berger of Columbus, Ohio, trained by Doug Parker. Dean Collins is up. The 2 is Western Genius, with the FTF Incorporated of Johnstown, Ohio, trained by Ron Potter, Dan Noble. The 3 is No Free Parking, owned by the Diamond Chip Stable, Martin and Mogan, all the Buckeye State, trained by Scott Mogan. Dave Hawk is up. The 4 is Evil Tricks, owned by John Sugar of Columbus, Ohio, trained and driven by Sandy Beatty. Number 5 is I See Why You Envy Me, owned by David Decker of Thompson, Georgia, trained and driven by Jeff Collins. The 6 is Noble Alex, owned by Jim Chaliff of Cincinnati, Ohio, trained and driven by Jim Daly. The 7 is Cam Sailor by William Walton and Victoria Dish of Ohio and Wisconsin, trained and driven by Bob Harper. The 8 is Richard Elwood of Lancaster, Ohio, Civil War, trained by Rick Hartman, Jamie Dunlap. And for the outside of the 9 is Devil's Music, owned by Kathy S. of Troy, Ohio, trained by David Bodenmiller, Jeff Fout, and the Sulky.
Field in motion. They're all fan pacing and firing away from the inside. There goes Western Genius right alongside a Bikini Kinda Girl. Looking to drop in 3rd is No Free Parking. Dropping in, racing in 4th, that is Civil War. Inside, racing in 5, that is Evil Tricks. Caught to the outside in 6th, that is Cam Sailor. Dropping in 8th is I See Why You Envy Me. 9th there as they pace around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. Onto the front end we roll, and on top, Western Genius leads it here by the opening quarter in 27 and 2/5. But now hustling up on the outside. Here's No Free Parking, and it looks like he'll try to duck in here, racing in third as Western Genius is rolling right on to the inside. Bikini Kinda Girl is tracking in the garden spot, racing in two. No Free Parking is hung to the outside in third. Civil War is racing in fourth. A tip to the outside following the cover in five is Evil Tricks. Sixth there along the inside, Cam Sailor. A move to the outside, racing in seventh. That is Noble Alex. Eighth along the rail there is I See Why You Envy Me. And ninth and trailing the midfield, Devil's Music. They were halfway home in 56 and 4/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4. Less than 3/8 of a mile remaining, and on top of the field, Western Genius and Dan Noble enjoying a length and 3/4 lead here to the inside. Bikini Kinda Girl is, or Guy rather, is still going along in second. First over on the outside in third is No Free Parking. Swung up three wide is Evil Tricks. 3/4 on the board and 125 flat. They'll pace the final turn and head to the top of Heartbreak Lane. Western Genius has got a recall thus far. Leads it by a length and a half to the inside. Bikini Kinda Guy is still coming to him, and he'll take a shot at him from the pocket. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Western Genius with the lead, but they're closing in quickly. Here's Civil War. Civil War is charging hard to the inside, but Western Genius hangs on to win it. Civil War to go second. Third was the one Bikini Kinda Guy, the top of the mile, 154 1/5. Western Genius in a new lifetime mark. Photo for win. So 1 mile, timed at a new lifetime mark, 154 and 1/5, gate to wire. Here's the two, a Western Genius. A 3-year-old bay colt by Western Hanover out of a Lady Genius mare, she by Tyler B. Is owned by the FTF Incorporated of Johnstown, Ohio, trained by the red hot Ron Potter. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Daniel Noble. That's 2 wins on this evening's card for Danny, giving him a driving double. New lifetime mark, 154 and 1, the two, Western Genius. 2.8 exacto, 125.80, 281 try, returns $1,706.80.
Field of 9, the one Max's Memory by Richard McCall, Bucyrus, Ohio, trained by Ken Zorns with Dale Edwards. Number 2 is Dirty Dreamer by Richard Bolus of Phoenix, Arizona, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., Brett Miller. The 3 is Bell's Big Guy by Marguerite Mesri of Zanesville, Ohio, trained by Herbert Mesri with Jeff Neissunger. Number 4 is Magic Dart by Roger Morlock of Valley City, Ohio, trained by Jim Kiesel, Jeff out at the lines. Number 5 is Truly Cam Star by Schmitz Sr. of Pickerington, Ohio, and Schmitz, trained and driven by Jim Daly. The 6 is D.L. Snowball by Ruth Wofford of Peebles, Ohio, trained by David Abbott, Jason Brewer. The 7 is Moe's Muffler Shop by Reed Racing of Newark, Ohio, and Mona Almond of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, trained and driven by Dean Collins. Number 8 is Sam Storm, owned and trained by Sam Noble Jr., Cedarville, Ohio. Dan Noble is up and scoring for the outside at number 9, Fred in Full Stride. It's owned by Greg Luther of Gahanna, Ohio, and John Shattuck of Columbus, Ohio, trained by John Robinson, Kyle Later, in the sulky.
Field in motion. They're off and pacing and firing away. Middle of the track, there goes the 4. Magic Dart is darting out for the lead. From the inside is Max's Memory. Driving up from the outside of Moe's Muffler Shop. Caught to the outside in 4th is Diaz Noble. Along the rail, racing in 5 is Dirty Dreamer. 6th is Bell's Big Guy. 7th there's Truly Cam Star. 8th along the inside is Sam Storm. And 9th and trailing the field, that is Fred in Full Stride. And Kyle Later can see them all as they step towards the opening quarter. The opening quarter came and went in 27 and 1/5. And Moe's Muffler Shop and Dean Collins has this one on the front end here, trying to throttle him down, leading it by a length and a half. Along the inside, a Magic Dart under a tippy tap of the whip is racing in second. Max's Memory is racing in third. First to Flush, coming with a rush to the outside. Here comes Dirty Dreamer, sent first over the outside, racing in 4th, who is towing along Bell's Big Guy, second over the outside in 5. Along the inside in 6th is D.S. Noble as they're at the half. They're halfway home, 55 and 4/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 with Moe's Muffler Shop calling the shots here, leading it by a length and a quarter. Magic Dart is still right there, nose to helmet, racing in 2. On the inside, Max's Memory is racing in 3rd. Dirty Dreamer can't go on from 4th and is backing through the field. Bell's Big Guy is sent up 3 wide around that one as they wheel by 3/4 and 124 2/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. Moe's Muffler Shop with the lead. Magic Dart is still right there in the pocket and now is being angled to the outside and swung up 3 wide for the back of the pack. Here comes Sam Storm. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Driving through Power Alley. Moe's Muffler Shop. Middle of the track, Magic Dart. But on the outside, Sam Storm is charging hard. And Sam Storm gets up to win it. Finishing second was the 4, Magic Dart. Third was the 7, Moe's Muffler Shop. The top of the mile, 154 flat. Sam Storm.
Here
to
Sam Storm.
Scoring at a new lifetime mark, 154 flat. A 4-year-old bay horse by Noble and Sam out of an Ellie Albert. She by Albert Albert. Is owned and trained by Sam Noble Jr. of Cedarville, Ohio. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Dan Noble. For driver Dan Noble, that's 3 wins on this evening's card, giving him a driving triple. The 8, Sam Storm, at a new lifetime mark, 154 flat, is now your official winner. 8-4-7-6 is now official. 8-4 exact to return to 163.60. 8-4-7 try returns $1,140.80. The 1 WR Little Big Man Dave Hawk, the 3 Miami Jewel Dan Noble, the 7 Napoleon Sombra Jeff Daly scratched the 9 Colby's Future Sick. The 1 is WR Little Big Man by Eddie Blair of Paintsville, Kentucky, trained by Tommy Smith, David Hawk. The 2 is Diamond Deribo, owned by Melby Ober Sr., Cable Ohio, trained by Jeff Brewer, Jason Brewer at the lines. The 3 is Miami Jewel, owned by Mullen of Fort Wright, Kentucky, and Morgan of Villa Hills, Kentucky, trained by Mike Barrett, Dan Noble. The 4 is Big Sky Country, owned and trained by David Cooper of Sabino, Ohio, Bob Harper. The 5 is Sable Scooter, owned by John Tatum of Columbus, Ohio, trained by Karen Seifert, Brett Miller. Number 6 is Beach and Moan, owned by Terry Whitaker and Robert Whitaker Jr. of Middletown, Ohio, trained and driven by Robert Whitaker Jr. The 7 is Napoleon Sombra, owned by Michael Wetter, Middletown, Ohio, trained by Jack Daly. Jeff Daly is up. The 8 is Flaming Rocky by Jason Barton of Lebanon, Ohio, trained and driven by the K-Man, Kane Kaufman. In motion. There to go. They're off and pacing and firing away. Middle of the track. There goes the 3, Miami Jewel, right alongside. Sable Scooter is headed for command. From the rail, there is WR Little Big Man. They're 3 deep around the first turn. Coming away in 4th, that is Diamond Deribo. 5th on the inside is Big Sky Country. A gap at 2. Racing in 6th is Beach and Moan. 7th there along the rail, that is Napoleon Sabra. 8th to the outside of there and being angled to the rail is Flaming Rocky, and the K-Man can see them all as they step by the opening quarter. Then 27 2/5, and now rolling onto the front end here, Sable Scooter, your 7-5 punter's choice, leads it here, but right back out of the pocket. Here comes WR Little Big Man as they roll onto the wire with 5/8 of a mile remaining, and WR Little Big Man rolls onto the front end here. Sable Scooter will yield for a garden spot. Racing into Miami Jewel was unhurried in 3rd. 4th on the inside of that is Diamond Deribo. First over on the outside in 5 is Flaming Rocky as they step around the clubhouse turn. Along the inside, racing in 6, Big Sky Country. 7th there is Beach and Moan, and 8th in trailing the field, but a swing to the outside. That is Napoleon Sabra. They were off the half in 57 1/5, driving down the backside on top of the field. Leading the way here, WR Little Big Man, and Dave Hawk leads it here by a length and a quarter. Grinding it out first over the outside, racing into Miami Jewel, and along the inside, watching over the dueling leaders from 3rd, that is Sable Scooter. 2nd over the outside, racing in 4th, Flaming Rocky. 5th and buried there is Diamond Deribo. 3/4 and 126 4/5. Backside 29 3. They'll pace the final turn and head for home, and WR Little Big Man lets out a notch here, but Sable Scooter is now swung to the outside. It'll take a shot at him. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. Off the turn and driving through Power Alley. WR Little Big Man with the lead. Sable Scooter on the outside. Big Sky Country is charging hard and rolling on here. Big Sky Country gets up to win it. Sable Scooter to go 2nd. Diamond Deribo was 3rd. Time of the mile 157 1/5. Big Sky Country to new.
Now your official winner.
Mark. Here's the 4, Big Sky Country. 11-year-old bay gelding by Suburbanite out of a dietitian's rate. She by Sugar Tree. Zoned and trained by David Cooper of Sabino, Ohio. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Bob Harper. That's 2 wins on this evening's card for driver Bob Harper, giving him a driving double. Big Sky Country, new lifetime mark 157 1/5. 4-5 exacta returns $105.60. 4-5-2 try returns $1,095. Even.
A field of 10, no changes. Kathy Hawk brings him out for the finale. Number 1 is Sharp Steve, owned and trained by John Parent of Lebanon, Ohio, with Sandy Beatty. Number 2 is Kim You Believe 'Em, owned by the Free as a Bird Stable Incorporated of Coral Springs, Florida, trained by Lloyd Hawk, Dave Hawk, the lines. Number 3 is Windbreaker, owned by Clarence You Can Call Me Sonny DeLong of Orient, Ohio, trained and driven by Bob Harper. Number 4 is Good Goin' Sam, owned and trained by Dale Horney of Washington Courthouse, Ohio, Jeff Smith. The 5 is Mark from Eden, owned by the Winchester Bay Acres Incorporated of Palo, Ohio, trained by Daryl Hoosier with the K-Man, Kane Kaufman. Number 6 is Dot's Big Guy, owned by Joseph Shemaiah of Lexington, Kentucky, trained by Lamar Moody with Jeff Ace Nicehunger. Number 7 is Rushing Call, owned and trained by Robert Garnett of Hamilton, Ohio, with Brett Miller. Number 8 is Yankee Airmail, owned by Geraldine Morris of Deschler, Ohio, trained by Richard Morris with Jim Daly. From the outside of the 9 is Cowboy Casino, owned and trained by Ken Drake of Delaware, Ohio. Jim Shelton is up and scoring from off the second tier. Number 10, Dr. Gus, owned by Norman Kruger of Medina, Ohio, trained by Jim Kiesel, Jeff Out, and the Sulky.
They're all fan pacing and firing away from the inside. Kim You Believe 'Em driving up from the middle of the racetrack. There's the 5, Mark from Eden, looking to drop in, racing in third. That is Good Goin' Sam, and a heads-up drive from Jeff Smith there. Coming away in fourth, that is Sharp Steve. Dropping in 5 is Cowboy Casino. 6th from off the second tier is Dr. Gus. 7th is Windbreaker there. 8th along the inside, that is Dot's Big Guy, and the 2 trailers here are Rushing Cohen. Yankee Airmail can see them all. By the opening quarter in a barn burner, 26 1/5. A very hot pace for these, and Kim You Believe 'Em on top here, leading it by 3 1/4, rolling into the wire with 5/8 of a mile remaining. Mark from Eden is racing in second. Good Goin' Sam dropped in, racing in third. Fourth, that is Sharp Steve. To the inside in 5 is Cowboy Casino. First over the outside, flushing cover now in 6th is Dr. Gus, stepping around the clubhouse turn to the half. They're halfway home, 55 4/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside of the finale. Heads are pointed towards 3/4, and Kim You Believe 'Em is trying to bottom this field out, leading it here by 2 1/4. To the inside, Mark from Eden is going along in second. First to flush on the outside in third now is Good Goin' Sam. Second over the outside in fourth is Sharp Steve, beginning to close in fifth, Dr. Gus. 6th on the inside, Cowboy Casino. 3/4 mile bound, 3/4 in 124 3/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. From the outside, Good Goin' Sam now forges to the front end tier. Kim You Believe 'Em is trying to battle back, ready to swing 3 wide for the stretch drive. That is Sharp Steve, and awaiting the passing lane, Mark from Eden. Off the turn in less than 1/8 of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come. Kim You Believe 'Em is battling back gamely here, and down along the inside, Dr. Gus coming to the wire. Kim You Believe 'Em battles back here to win it. Finishing second was the 10, Dr. Gus. Third was the 4, Good Goin' Sam. Believe the 1, Sharp Steve, rounded out the super. The time of the mile, 154 4/5. Kim You Believe 'Em. The 12th race, the 2, Kim You Believe 'Em. Timed at 154 4/5 is an 8-year-old bay gelding by In the Pocket out of a Barbie doll mare. She by Tyler B. By the Free as a Bird Stable Incorporated at Coral Springs, Florida. Trained by Lloyd Hawk, Dave Hawk wins here. Team Hawk scores in 154 4/5, battling back in the stretch, the 2, Kim You Believe 'Em. Bird winning driver Dave Hawk. That is 2 wins on this evening's program, giving him a driving double. 210 exactive, 57.40, 210.4 try, 449.80, 210.41 super, $4,742.20.